Okay, there are sometimes some questions about some of the details of how things happen, and I want to make sure you are clear on what those elements are and how they work in this class. So this is just a very short follow-up on how you can find and where deadlines are. Again, the grades, how grades are set in here and how you will earn them, and what the classroom expectations are, okay? There are two, usually in each packet there will be two forms of a calendar. The first one on the left is the objectives calendar, and then you have like a traditional calendar on the right. We always will have the traditional calendar. Sometimes we'll have the objectives calendar as well. That one kind of shows you more specifically in more detail. Some of you don't even really look at that. You just want to know where the deadlines are and when things are due. So you will probably prefer the traditional calendar. For people who like a lot of detail and want to find out more about exactly what is behind each deadline and what the work is with it, in a glance, you're going to want to look at the objectives calendar. So it kind of depends on your style, but we often will have both. When we don't have both, we for sure will have the traditional calendar, so you always are aware of a couple places to look for deadlines. Okay, grades in MYP, Honors English 10, are based on mastery checks and summative assessments, and we'll be using the IBMYP rubrics and criteria. Criterion A is analyzing, B is organizing, C is producing text, and D is using language. You should be familiar with these if you were with us at Cooper last year. And there is a grade translation from the MYP scoring numbers to the letter grade to what the description is of that, from exceeding proficiency to no evidence given. There's not enough data for me to give a grade on. Mastery checks and unit packets contain things that you must do, things that you should do, and sometimes there'll be things that are you would aspire to do. Okay, summative assessments, will be worth most of your grade, but I want you to know you cannot achieve higher than a C if you only complete those must-dos. So kind of let that sink in, okay? Within a packet, there'll be must-dos, should-dos, and sometimes an aspire to. Do not very often, because we have enough of the must-dos and the should-dos that we need to cover. But sometimes you want to go a little further with an aspire to do. If you just are going to do kind of that minimum must-do, on a packet, you're only going to get a C on the grade for that packet if that's all you do with the must-dos. So if you want to get all the points or all credit or higher credit, a B or an A on your packets, you're going to want to make sure you do the should-dos, and if there are ever any aspire to-dos, you're going to want to do those assignments as well. Here's a further breakdown of how the grading is aligned in Schoology for the letter grades, from an A down to an NC, with a little more detail of a description, and then also that percentage. Okay, my classroom expectations for us in room 242. Number one, take responsibility for what you do, for what you say, for how you act, and what you learn and don't learn. I'm here to support you and help you, but ultimately it is you doing the learning in this classroom. Respect yourself, your classmates, your space, and your teacher. And respect doesn't mean you have to like everybody, you have to like me, you have to love the room, you have to love what you're doing. That's not what respect is. Respect means you understand how to treat people and things, and me, your classroom space, your peers around you. And even if you disagree with them, you still can show respect. Distractions to learning are not something we're going to negotiate back and forth. The biggest one I'm going to say is going to probably be your phone. Sometimes it might be your Chromebook, but there's a time and a place for it, and you'll know when that is. And in class, when there's instructional time and work to be done, that is not a time to be on your phone, to be on that electronic device, okay? Number 4 is asking you to be ethical. I expect you to be thoughtful and just be good people. That is one of the biggest things I hope you also come in with and leave with even a better understanding of what it means to be a good person. That includes using the materials and things around you appropriately. Whether you are borrowing a Chromebook charger, make sure you return it to me so someone else can use it the next hour, would be an example. Believe in your ability to achieve in this class. Be present and engaged during class. Again, you don't have to love it. Love the class. English may not be your strong suit, and I'm okay with that, and I still want you to be successful. I understand all of you are not going to love this class. That's cool. That's fine. But you still can achieve and demonstrate that achievement in this class and still do well in it. And to do that, you have to be present and you have to engage with what we're doing. Number 6, be open to others and willing to learn about people whose opinions differ from your own. What a wonderful world we live in, and what a really special place Cooper is because we have so many different kinds of people. That is one of the amazing things about Cooper and one of the things that I love most about it. So be open to that. There are people different than you and they have things to offer, and you can learn from them and they can learn from you. Okay, so hopefully this gave you just a couple more things on where the deadlines, how the grading is, and what our classroom expectations are to help you be successful this year.